Can you imagine continuing to send faxes because you thought that email was a fad? It wasn't going to stick around. That is exactly what happened back in the day around the 1990s, is that so many firms continue to rely on faxes and they didn't feel comfortable with email. It was kind of new to them at that point. But then there were other firms who saw the benefits of email, they embraced it, it gave them a competitive edge. Well, today we're in a similar situation and circumstance regarding AI. Is it something that is a fad that's going to replace you, or is it something that's here to stay and you want to be able to use it as a tool? I'm Lauren Fogelman with Business Success Solution, and I work with accounting firm owners on how to be able to double their revenues working half the time. So the firms who are using AI solutions, they're saving maybe 5, even 10 hours a week. And it's because they're able to get some insights faster. They are able to take some of those manual repetitive tasks and have them be automated. What was done maybe in an hour or so can now be done in seconds. As a result, it's now allowing them to free up time to be able to do high level advisory services, have those client meetings, or maybe also focus on business development or take back some of that time for self-care. So if you're not using AI yet, then the question is not whether you should, it's about how to be able to use it, because you want to be able to remain relevant. Let's face it. If you're looking at getting new clients and that your clients are using AI solutions, they're going to see that as something that they want their firms to be doing also when it comes to their bookkeeping and their tax work. So I'm going to share some strategies today about how to start embracing AI into your firm so that you remain relevant. And think about, where is your firm still doing things manually? Think about any time that you are touching a keyboard or someone on your team is. That's an opportunity to look and see if there's an AI or a software solution. And I bet very, very quickly, as you start to think about it, you can find at least 3 ways that you're continuing to do things manually that could possibly be automated and save some of that time for you. Maybe it is those client emails, or possibly the monthly reconciliations, appointment setting. That's something that one of my tax advisors did last year, is she finally got Calendly and was able to automate appointments. That one move saved her so much time and headache with going back and forth trying to find meeting times, because she was putting a couple of suggestions in. She would have to save that time on her calendar until they came back. It was a beast. By adding Calendly in, she was able to free it up. It was very, very effective for her. So think about, where are some ways that you can start to look at improving efficiency because there is a software or an AI solution. And some of the routine tasks, aside from the Calendly that I mentioned that my clients are using, is that they're using it for sending maybe or creating client FAQs. So what are those things that you're hearing all the time and repeated by many, many people about this question? And you can go ahead and just have it generate an FAQ for you. Or possibly drafting proposals. Think about the proposals, whether you are a bookkeeper or tax season, which ought to be automated then if you are doing tax work. And another thing to look at is maybe even prepping meeting notes before meeting with clients. So those are some ways that my clients are going ahead and using it, is the FAQs, coming up with proposals, and also prepping meeting notes. But by doing this, it could possibly save you 5 hours each and every week, not just for you, but possibly for your team as well. And as a result of that, you can now go ahead, remember, invest that back into your business, whether it's having higher quality meetings with your clients or possibly focusing on business development and driving growth. But there is stats that actually back this up, why this is a benefit to you and your firm. Stanford and MIT, They did a study and they found that accountants using AI are saving about 3.5 hours per week. So once again, by automating these tasks, accounting firms are saving 3.5 hours per week. As a result of that, it allows them to now give back that time, and they are finding that by being able to open up that 3.5 hours a week, they're able to work more closely with their clients. And the other thing that came out of that Stanford and MIT study is that these accounting firms were actually able to close the books a full week faster. Imagine what that would do in your firm if you can close your clients' books a full week faster. And I'm not talking about the clients that never respond to your communication, so you are waiting on them. I'm talking about the majority of your clients where you have a workflow. If you can just wrap it up a full week faster, how would that make a difference for your firm? What would you be doing with that additional time? So this is very, very possible for you as well. And yes, you can absolutely stay with what you've been doing, the status quo, continue to work on those routine tasks, but by finding yourself too much time spent doing those manual tasks on the compliance side, then it's going to be something where your client's going to see you more as a technician. It commoditizes your firm services. But if you're able to free up that time, even the 3.5 hours per week, and you can start using AI to improve efficiencies, then it frees up the time for you to have more meetings with clients so that you can take that work that you're doing and have conversations with clients about how to be able to apply the data to drive insights into their business. So that will start to move you into the advisory side of your firm and how you can support your clients. But the thing to look at is that clients will not fire you because of your automation. They're going to fire you because the relationship feels transactional, where they're only paying for compliance work after the fact. So when they're doing that and they see you as transactional, a commodity, they're not getting the insights, that's when they don't have the loyalty and the stickiness. So stop believing that AI is going to kill accounting. It's not. It's going to give you the opportunity to elevate and up-level what you're offering to your clients. Now, will there be a need for compliance work? Always. But you don't have to be doing the work. You can implement an AI or software solution to be able to do it faster. And then once again, this allows you to have those advisory meetings with your clients. So instead of wondering, will AI replace me? Because there's so much of that talk going on social media. There's a lot of fears about that. That's not what AI is going to do. It's starting to think about instead, does my firm deliver the results that go beyond the task list? So instead of thinking, well, AI replace me, start to think about how can I deliver the value that goes beyond the task? And here's 3 ways you can start to shift. And maybe you're already implementing, but let's see if we can find another way to improve your efficiency even more. So once again, anytime that there is you or someone on your team touching a keyboard, then it is possible to automate the routine. That is something to think about. And there's a lot of time spent touching those keyboards, and there's probably a software or an AI solution for every single one of them. So look at the repetitive tasks that are being done in your firm and go ahead and find solutions to start to automate them. Like I said, drafting emails for clients. Think about how much time, if you don't have to be stuck on trying to find the right words, it's now being done for you. You can use it to summarize meetings, generate proposals. So those are some things to think about. And by being able to do that, be more efficient, that's time back that you can use in other ways. So that's one thing, is looking at the routine. The next thing is being able to highlight insights. So numbers are only as good as the story you tell. And your clients aren't as good at understanding the story about the numbers like you are. So think about ways that maybe you can take the numbers and work with AI to now generate some conversation starters. Maybe some of the things you want to think about is, where are your margins slipping? Is it possible that there's something we can find that's affecting your cash flow? Or maybe there's a client that has steady income but low profits. And then you can use AI to maybe talk about some talking points that explore expenses, overspending, redundancy, and then help to guide them towards solutions. So highlight the insights. That's one more way that you can use AI. And the third thing I want you to think about is packaging advisory as a premium. Something near and dear to my heart is having you move in that direction of elevating the way that you work with your clients. So think about how to build advisory into structured packages. That way you are not giving away your expertise, which is some of your best stuff, without getting compensated. Stop giving away the whole farm without getting any compensation for it. You deserve to get paid for those insights, whether it is about answering those quick questions about cash flow, or about maybe a client comes to you with a tax question and you're now stopping and research before responding to them, and they don't even realize how much time it takes to answer what they thought was a quick question, but you've spent hours, you're not getting compensated. So by being able to free up the time, use AI, you can now move clients into monthly advisory meetings. So as a result of that, this increases revenues. And once again, you can now have those advisory packages. So those are some ways to start thinking about shifting from being seen as a technician over to a strategic advisor. It frees up time. And once again, clients, especially the quality clients, they want your insights, they want your guidance. So I want to be able to have you think about now ways to get started. I realize you're busy, and I'm not looking for you to do everything all at once. I'm just looking at you doing a small step to get started. So here are some ways that AI can make a positive impact. The very first one is client communications, because sometimes it's just hard to find the words. So think about how AI can go ahead and draft responses to client questions, whether it's an email or an FAQ, and it could possibly save you about 15 to 20 minutes per email, because it's doing the writing for you and it's coming up with a way that it sounds more comprehensive and the words flow. The second thing is with proposals. If you're not using a proposal software, then AI can actually help you generate a proposal with a template, and you can just go ahead and then have it fill in the client details. As a result of that, you are now being able to have a template. You can give it certain prompts, and it will go ahead and customize it to your particular clients. And it just takes something that you've been doing yourself, and it takes away the heavy lifting. And the third thing is meeting prep. So allow AI, without putting in any specific private information, maybe about client names or their business name, take that out, but go ahead and have AI analyze the data and have it generate some insights for you before you're meeting with a client. So that way you're able to walk into each and every one of your meetings with some insights, some questions, and maybe even some next steps for moving forward, so that it's not just about focusing on what already has happened, the compliance side of things, but it's also now generating some insights on how your clients can take the data and apply it to their business. So I gave you 3 as far as client communications, proposal writing, meeting prep. Which one would you implement first? What appeals to you most? Which one sounds doable given the fact that you are already busy? And once again, don't do everything. Just find one small task that you're able to go ahead and get started with right away, and just test it. See how it makes a difference. And as you're doing this, be aware of maybe how it's freeing up your time, how it's maybe even improving the way that you're working with your clients, and possibly even shifting the conversations that you're having with your clients. Because as you're doing this and you're having better conversations with your clients, it's about more the future focus part, the advisory side of things. Then your client's going to start to see you now as that advisor as opposed to a technician. This shift is an advanced move. So Stop debating about whether AI matters or not, if it's here to stay. That happened back in the 90s when email was replacing faxes. I don't want you to continue to be stuck in an old way of doing things manually when it could be speeded up and more efficient as well as effective by using some AI or software solutions. It might be uncomfortable. That's why we just want you to start small. But it is going to be something that will improve efficiencies. And by the time that you get comfortable with it, you're going to wonder why you waited so long. So once again, as we move in this direction and you're becoming more efficient, that means that you want to stop focusing on how you price your services, whether it's an hourly rate or fixed fee that's based on time, because you're going to be more efficient. This is where you want to start pricing for the results that you offer, which aligns with value pricing as opposed to time required to be able to implement those results. So once more, stop focusing on competing on price. We want to have your pricing align with the solutions you offer, which is moving the direction of valued pricing because you'll now be more efficient. And the bottom line is that your quality clients really appreciate the insights, how you're helping them with their business, and the fact that you are bringing ideas to them that are going to make a difference. So make some time this week to choose one recurring task that's eating up your time. Emails is usually the top of the list. Proposals, maybe prep work. So think about testing just that one thing that came to mind for you and how AI can start to streamline it. And the second thing is maybe schedule a client meeting, test it out, where you can shift the conversation from what happened to what's next. Instead of focusing on what happened, they can't do anything about the past. Let's focus on how we can support them moving forward in the future. And the third thing is go ahead and document, track, look at the insights. Is there maybe something that your clients haven't thought of yet? And you can use AI to actually help you uncover it. That makes you the hero. So think about those things as your step for this week to start implementing an AI solution into your firm and freeing up the time. But once again, that Stanford and MIT study shows that firms are already saving 3.5 hours a week, and that they're able to now focus that time on business development and supporting their clients at a higher level. This is an advantage, even at 3.5 hours each week, that compounds very, very quickly, week in and week out. The hours add up. So if you're ready to step into that advisory role, start finding some AI solutions to be able to free up your time and how to be able to make the shift so you're no longer charging for time because you're now more efficient and start charging for the value, then let's go ahead and have a conversation. Reach out to me at businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk, and we can look at how to be able to look at elevating your firm, being seen as that advisor, and start to have the fees that you're offering really reflect the value that you already deliver. I look forward to hearing from you. Tell me what you took away, how this resonated with you, how it validates something that you're already doing, or maybe some additional insights you need to start to be even more effective with bringing AI and software solutions into your firm. I look forward to our next conversation. This is Lauren Fogelman with Business Success Solution, showing accounting firm owners how to be able to double their revenue working half the time.